Good morning. Financing Valentine's Day gifts, selling on Instagram, and more is what we're going to talk today about on Behind the Gov with Jason. Thank you so much for watching this week. Behind the Gov with Jason. I am your host, Jason Roski. I'm here every Friday morning at 11:45 on Facebook Live, talking about all kinds of things that relate to antiques, art, estate liquidation, and just whatever else interests me. We talked about the Chiefs, obviously, the last couple of weeks because they won the Super Bowl, in case you hadn't heard. But today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things. In majority, we're going to talk about financing Valentine's Day gifts. I was driving into work this morning and heard a jeweler here in town, jewelry store, talking about financing your Valentine's Day gift, which might be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. 5-year financing on a Valentine's Day gift. It's Valentine's Day. It's a made-up holiday. And I love my wife. I've been married for over 25 years. We've known each other for close to 30. Stacy gets jewelry. She gets art. She gets whatever she wants whenever we can. But I would never dream of financing it. I would hope that you wouldn't either. Just a little rant to start the show today about that, because I think it's ridiculous that you would go out there and to prove your love, feel like you have to finance a gift for Valentine's Day gift. Any gift you shouldn't have to finance. You should be able to afford it or not. You don't want to go into debt on something that is just a piece of merchandise. It's just a trinket. And if you've been, Valentine's Day comes around every year, just like it's like Christmas, Hanukkah, birthdays, anniversaries. Every year it's the same day, February 14th. So, go ahead and take some time and think about what you want to get your wife, your husband, your significant other, but please don't finance it. It's just ridiculous, especially when you know about auctions like you obviously do if you're watching this. We sell thousands of pieces of jewelry every year. I am sure we have sold something last year you could have picked up for a reasonable price that you just bought, as opposed to financing something you purchased at a jewelry store. That's about it. I'm not going to go on and on about it, but I think it's truly important that you not finance, small objects like that. You buy jewelry when you can afford it, that you like it, and be happy with it going forward. And if you're somebody who's receiving gifts and you think you need to get something super expensive for your partner's love to be proven, think about what that really means. That money's more important than financial security, or the object is more important than financial security. Again, that's what I'm going to talk about. But please just pay cash for your objects. Think ahead, buy great things at auction, and be thousands of dollars ahead. The other thing we'll talk about today is selling on Instagram. I saw an article in inputmag.com. Never heard of it before, but it came across a friend's feed about teenagers hacking Instagram to sell to sell objects, mainly used in vintage clothing and jewelry, kind of cutesy things. And these are 14, 15, 16-year-old kids picking up things at thrift stores or garage sales, stuff they've worn for a year and they don't want to wear it anymore. Taking cute pictures, putting on Instagram, hashtagging it right, and offering it to their people, and not through a business platform, but just through their own personal pages. $18 shipped, $28 shipped, whatever it is, and they're selling hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month. Got me to thinking about what I'm seeing good antique dealers doing as well. I have a friend here in Kansas City on Instagram. Her hashtag on Instagram, or her screen name, is BohoKC. She sells objects almost every day. Excuse me. And they are usually not that expensive, but she sells hundreds of dollars a week as a little side hustle for herself. And I know she loves doing it. She gets to go to thrift stores every day, auctions. She gets to play in a world she loves, and she gets to, get extra money for her and her kid, and be able to enjoy some things in life that she may not have otherwise. And it's nothing but a few minutes at a time, taking a couple of pictures, putting out a price, and then direct messaging the buyer back and forth afterwards. And anybody can do this. If you're watching me right now, you can do this. You have the ability to take a picture with your phone, your iPad, your camera, upload it with some hashtags, put a price on it, and sell it. If you're an antique dealer, Instagram is an extremely powerful platform for what you offer, because everything we offer is visually distinctive, right? There are very few things we offer that you can't take a really interesting photograph of. And there are a lot of friends of mine who are taking advantage of that. Blue Collar Bill here in Kansas City sells a lot of mantiques, a lot of signs, vintage clothing, industrial type things. And he sells on Instagram regularly, and he's promoting his store on Instagram regularly, which drives a lot of traffic. And that's something else. If you do shows, if you have a shop, if you sell on eBay or Etsy, Instagram is a great tool to drive traffic to those sites. Some other people I know, Fire Station guy, Don Fields here in Kansas City, has something like 70,000 followers on his Instagram account. He works on it every day, and he drives traffic to his shows, to his shop, to single pieces on his feed. He sells not as often because his price point is higher, but he's driving traffic. He's in Atlanta, he's in Texas, he's in Nashville, he's in wherever he's at selling. He goes to the same shows regularly, and so he'll post the week before, especially hard, what he's bringing to that show. So his local buyers to whatever area he's going to know, oh, he's bringing a whole new collection of Hermes scarves, or he's bringing Louis Vuitton luggage, or he's bringing some great Italian gilded furniture, whatever it might be. He's posting it so his customers know what's coming up, and they can be prepared to buy the things that they've seen online, or they can just contact Don directly and purchase things online. Some of the things you want to be aware of and cognizant of if you're going to try and sell on Instagram is hashtags. Hashtags on Instagram are extremely powerful. You can follow hashtags on Instagram, which means if you like Flow Blue, you can type in, you want to follow the hashtag for Flow Blue. If you like Victorian jewelry, you can follow the hashtag for Victorian jewelry. Also, if you're looking to sell, you want to put Victorian jewelry for sale. That is a much smaller subset of Victorian jewelry, but they're all very popular. If you look up the hashtag antiques for sale, 164,000 posts. Art for sale is there have been 5.3 million posts with the hashtag art for sale in the description. Art was an early, Instagram's been a disruptor for the art market in a huge way. There are 5- and 6-figure pieces changing hands through Instagram. It's an amazing, amazing thing. I think we talked about that about a year ago. Probably come up and talk about it again. But there are people out there flipping art on a daily basis on Instagram. And again, art is very visually appealing, obviously. And so Instagram really works well. If you have any questions, please post them here. Hit the like button, hit the share button if you think your friends and family are interested in what we're talking about today as well. Some smaller subsets. Jewelry for sale has 1 million posts out there. Vintage for sale, 1.3. Furniture for sale, though, is only 100,000 posts. So if you have a strong local following, you like selling furniture because you can usually buy it cheaper at auction percentage-wise, or at flea markets and thrift stores and things like that. Estate sales, you have an estate sale, you can pick up furniture relatively cheap if it's still there. Furniture for sale is only 100,000 posts, which means that you have a bigger market. You will have a larger share of the attention for those folks who are looking for it. If you're interested in learning more about selling on Instagram or the antiques business in general, the Antiques Diva is a friend of mine from Italy, Tama Clark Haynes. Is from Italy. She posts regularly. She puts together antique buying tours in Europe in several locations. She also has a new page called The Business of Antiques. And she talks about this in detail, in depth, how to use and control and really be strong in your social media marketing if you're an antiques dealer. And it's such a huge way to influence and to drive traffic. And so far, you can use Facebook and Instagram, and you can still have a lot of power with free posts. And then when you start to establish yourself and understand those formats, using their paid marketing services can really drive a lot of traffic in ways that you just couldn't do otherwise. We use that every day with the auction company. We use a lot of the tools that Facebook allows us, that Instagram allows us to reach a much broader audience that is focused on specific objects. So we get broad, but we get broad in a narrow fashion, which is a truly powerful tool if you're marketing anything. And if you're in the business of antiques, obviously you're marketing antiques, you're marketing a lifestyle, you're marketing culture, you're marketing the aesthetic of whatever genre you're selling, whether it's industrial and man type antiques, or gilded and French and Italian type, more feminine antiques, or vintage clothing or jewelry or silver or art, whatever it is. You can reach people who look like your buyers, existing buyers, and really expand who you can reach in a really effective way. And so hopefully you can take some of the points we talked about today and use them in your business and expand upon what you're doing and be more successful in what you're selling on a daily basis. Thank you all so much for watching. In Kansas City, it's been brutally cold this week. We got down to, I want to say, minus 15 degrees, 20 degrees on a wind chill. I know that Minnesota and Iowa was much colder than us, but I don't live there anymore. So my family does in both places, and they laugh at our talking about cold at 5 degrees. For those of you who follow me personally, you know that my youngest son Tristan, had his surgery on his knee yesterday. Recovery is going okay so far. Stacy's at home with both the boys. William's been sick with the flu all week, and Tristan's been to the doctor twice and surgery yesterday. So hopefully he recovers well. If you have any questions for us, please post them here in the comments below. Send us a direct message or give us a phone call at 816-283-3633. Drop us an email at info@kcauctioncompany.com. Info at letter K, letter C, auctioncompany.com, and company is spelled out. Happy to answer any questions you have for us to talk about here behind the gavel with Jason. Be happy to hear those as well. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next Friday.